Moses' birth story sounds almost identical to a legend written 1,000 years earlier about a Mesopotamian king. Baby placed in a basket sealed with tar, set adrift on a river, rescued by royalty, rises to greatness. This isn't plagiarism. It's the ancient equivalent of a movie trailer. Sargon of Akkad ruled Mesopotamia around 2300 BCE. His birth legend, mother placed him in a basket of rushes, sealed it with tar, set him on the Euphrates River. A water drawer rescued him. He rose to become king. Sound familiar? Ancient cultures had a recognized story pattern for heroes: humble or dangerous origins, water peril, miraculous rescue, rise to greatness. The biblical authors weren't copying Sargon. They were communicating in a shared literary language their audience understood. This person is going to matter. The literary borrowing goes deeper than plot structure. It's embedded in the very words. The Hebrew word tevah, spelled tav, bet, he, appears exactly twice in the entire Hebrew Bible. First use, Noah's Ark in Genesis. Second use, Moses' basket in Exodus. That's it. No other occurrences. Both are instruments of salvation through perilous waters. Both preserve God's hopes for humanity when those hopes face extinction. This word choice is a theological statement. The biblical authors are saying Moses' rescue is as significant as Noah's. The narrative plants another seed. Moses' basket is placed among Suf, reeds. The sea Moses will later part is Yam Suf. The Reed Sea, not Red Sea. That's a Greek mistranslation. Reed Sea. The very location of his rescue foreshadows his greatest act of deliverance. The baby floating among reeds will one day command those same reeds to part. The narrative is constructed with intentional forward-pointing details. The text delights in irony. Pharaoh decrees death to all Hebrew boys. Pharaoh's own daughter rescues the one who will destroy Pharaoh's power. Moses is raised in the very palace he will later challenge. His Egyptian name, his education, his access to royal courts, all come from the oppressor. The instrument of Egypt's downfall is forged in Egypt's own household. God works through reversal. The narrative structure itself makes a theological point. Human power cannot thwart divine purpose. The harder Pharaoh grips, the more he enables his own defeat. The Bible skips Moses' entire childhood and young adulthood. Decades of life, gone. We get exactly 2 episodes before his calling at the burning bush. This is selective storytelling. Ancient authors chose what to include with precision. These 2 episodes aren't random memories, they're character establishment. Episode 1, Egypt. Moses sees an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. He kills the Egyptian. On the next day, he tries to stop 2 Hebrews fighting. Their response, "Who made you ruler and judge over us?" Moses flees. Episode 2, Midian. Moses arrives at a well. 7 sisters come to water their father's flock. Shepherds drive them away. Moses rises to their defense. He waters their flock himself. Both episodes share the same pattern. Moses sees injustice. Moses acts. Moses defends the powerless. In Egypt, he defends a Hebrew against an Egyptian. In Midian, he defends foreign women against local men. The oppressed party changes. The oppressor changes. Moses' response stays constant. The Bible doesn't tell us Moses was a defender of the oppressed. It shows us character is revealed through action patterns, not description. The text could have said, Moses had a strong sense of justice. Instead, it gives us 2 scenes. Different settings, different victims, different perpetrators, same response. This is sophisticated storytelling. The repetition isn't accidental, it's emphasis. When we reach the burning bush, we already know who Moses is. Like, God doesn't transform Moses into a defender of the oppressed. God chooses someone who already acts this way. The calling matches the character. The mission fits the man. At the burning bush, God speaks, I have seen the affliction of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their sufferings. God sees, God hears, God knows. Moses already does the same. He saw the Egyptian beating the Hebrew. He heard the sister's plight at the well. He knew suffering demanded a response. God chooses Moses precisely because Moses already mirrors divine concern for the oppressed. The entire Exodus, plagues, confrontations, liberation flows from this alignment between divine character and human agent. Reading ancient texts requires asking, what literary conventions would the original audience recognize? The birth of the hero pattern signals significance. First readers of Exodus understood immediately, this child matters. They caught the tevah connection to Noah. They noticed the soup foreshadowing. These weren't hidden codes. They were shared cultural vocabulary. Modern readers miss these signals because we've lost the context. Recovering that context transforms how we read. The text becomes richer. The artistry becomes visible. Ancient authors were sophisticated literary craftsmen. Notice what details the text chooses to include and what it omits. Moses' childhood absent, Moses' education absent, Moses' relationships in Egypt absent. 2 episodes of defending the powerless present. The selection reveals the point. The omissions are as meaningful as the inclusions. When a text skips decades to show 2 similar scenes, those scenes carry the weight of characterization. This principle applies beyond Exodus. In any ancient narrative, ask why these details, why this sequence. The answers unlock the author's intent. Moses' story begins with literary convention, linguistic precision, and deliberate irony. The birth of the hero pattern announces his significance. The tevah connection places him alongside Noah. The sub foreshadowing points toward liberation. Pharaoh's reversal demonstrates divine sovereignty. And 2 carefully selected episodes establish his defining trait. Moses defends the defenseless. Before God ever speaks from the burning bush, the text has already told us everything we need to know about the man who will lead Israel out of Egypt.